A few years later, a war breaks out, and the enemy was very strong. The enemy camp started making their own preparations and plans to attack the potter's country. So thus, the king of the potter's country was very much worried, and he started thinking as to whom he is supposed to appoint as the army general in order to face such a huge army which is staying the other side. The king worried and wondered how he could save the country. He wanted a brave man to lead the army. A brave man can always make the country better or can defend one's own country. One of his ministers spoke to the king about this brave potter. One of the ministers told, there is a potter there who captured the tiger single-handed. Thus, the king was very happy, is enthusiastic to meet that particular potter or the person who was very brave. He called the potter, made him the general of the army, and ordered him to lead the army into battle the next day. He immediately called the potter. He just invited him with much honor, and the king immediately told to the potter, this is the situation. The opponent enemy, the opponent army is very strong, and as I have heard, you have captured the tiger single-handed. Now here is your turn to contribute your share in saving the country, and so on. The king requested the man to take care of that particular country. But the potter was very worried because he never carried a sword and had never rode a horse. As you know, potter really did not ride a horse, did not catch a sword. His profession was totally different. He never had the exposure to the fighting and all other things. So thus, this particular potter was worried, troubled, and was thinking what to be done, what he is supposed to do, because he never had exposure to these things. Therefore, he wanted to practice riding the horse and catching the sword and how to fight. So first he wanted to practice riding a horse, because if he doesn't ride a horse and if he doesn't have the practice being an army general, if he doesn't know how to ride a horse, people would laugh at him. And the opponent enemy, if they know that this person doesn't know and doesn't have war tactics, then immediately they would capture the country. So thus, the potter wanted to practice riding the horse. He woke up early the next morning and climbed onto the horse's back with great difficulty. The potter was very short and not very strong. So the next morning, early morning, he went into the stable. He took something in order to climb onto the horse back, and then he wanted to get onto the horse back. So when he went into the stable, he started searching the horses, which were very small according to his height. So as he was searching, he saw a horse which was almost very small. That particular horse actually was trying to escape from fighting. So it was a kind of lazy horse. It was very good, very strong, but lazy one. So that horse wanted to escape from fighting. So it was acting as if it was short. So this particular potter was very happy. He thought that, see, I am very short and the horse also is short, so it shoots me so that I can climb onto that. So this particular person selected the horse, and now he wanted to get onto the horse. And now, after getting onto the horse, he told to his wife, you see, I am unknown to the horse riding. I am a novice, I am a new person to ride a horse. So I may fall down anywhere. The moment the horse jumps and starts running, I may fall. So he asked his wife to tie his feet to the stirrups. Stirrups are the ones where you keep your legs. So the D-typed iron frames which are there onto the horse where you keep your legs are called as stirrups. And here he told to his wife, you tie my legs to the stirrups so that the persons, those who see, whenever I just do riding, I won't fall down. Next, his wife tied his feet firmly to the stirrups and tied the two stirrups together. So first what his wife did was, he tied the potter's legs to the stirrups, and then from down of the horse she again joined two stirrups so that even if he turns that side, this side, even if the horse jumps in any position, he may not fall down. So that is what the potter's wife did. She also tied it to the saddle. She also tied it again to the saddle. So when this all process was going on, the horse was becoming impatient. So it was whooping. It was just simply thumping the feet without any rest. So it became impatient. And then what happened? Suddenly the horse jumped freely and galloped out of the stable. So when this particular horse became impatient, so it just suddenly jumped and started galloping out of the stable. And then what happened? The potter firmly held the horse's neck and prayed to all the gods to save his life. As you know, whenever we have difficulties, we do remember about God and God's presence. We feel God's presence only when we enter into difficulties. When we are good, when everything is fine with us, we never remember God and God's presence. And we remember God's presence only when we have difficulties, troubles and worries. So here also this potter started praying to all the gods to save his life. And what happened? The horse galloped through the streets, the city gates and headed towards the enemy camp. You may ask, see, if any person galloping on the horse in the night, what are these guards, sentries doing? Here, he was the army general and he has all the right to go anywhere, to do anything in the kingdom. So, no sentry really stopped him. The moment they saw him, they thought, oh, he is going on a check. So that as you have, police patrol. So here also, they thought that he was going in such a way. So no one stopped him. The potter grabbed a branch when they came across a sapling. So the horse started running through the streets. Afterwards, it ran out of the gate and it was running towards the enemy camp. And the potter thought, that is the end of my life and my life is going to end today. As he was going, he saw a palm tree, big palm tree, which was almost rotten or in a very pathetic situation. So he just simply grabbed that tree so that the horse won't move. But to his dismay, what happened was that fell on his shoulders. When a sentry from the enemy camp saw him with a tree in one hand and reins in the other, he thought the rider must have been the general who had captured a tiger with his bare hands. And here, as the horse was riding, in the other camp, the enemy camp, there were sentries, those who guard the enemy camp. The main sentry looked at the horse coming, and he also saw that the army general carrying tree in one hand and the reins in the other hand. So the sentry mistook that this particular army general who captured the tiger single-handed is coming towards the enemy camp to destroy the camp. He just got very much afraid. So he started he started making the other army alert. Immediately he let out loud cries warning his men of the famous tiger general who was rushing towards them to attack. So he immediately made them alert, made them to get awake and then to escape. Look, here is the army general, tiger general, who captured the tiger single-handed. Anyone who has hopes on your life, please fled away and then save your lives. That's what the sentry started shouting. And all the people started getting afraid, and then they fled away. The frightened soldiers fled. Even their king followed his soldiers, leaving a letter in the tent. Even the king also was very much afraid, and he also fled away from there, and then he also escaped from there, leaving a letter saying that we surrender and we no more will conquer your kingdom because we don't want to lose our battle. The potter was surprised to find the camp empty. See, the horse, as it was galloping, it came near to the enemy camp and then stopped. And the potter was very much perplexed, anxious, and then worried what would happen. But if there are people in any area, so many people, at least slightest sound you find. But the enemy camp was completely empty, completely silent. So this army general or the potter felt what has happened, and he just got down and went into that particular tents and then found a letter in the king's tent, and then he immediately thought that yes, it is what that I have done, everything is done well, and even without my fighting, even without doing anything, everything went on well. So now he is trying to show that he has done something great thing. So he took the letter and then he came back home and he handed over to his wife, saying that, so this is what happened. You take, after in the morning, you take this letter to the king, hand over to the king, and tell to the king that my husband struggled all throughout the night a lot, and then he just chased away all the enemy army, and he has brought a letter to you that you have won the battle. So this is what he told, the potter told to his wife to tell to the king. And here he asked her to take the letter to the king and tell him that the enemy had fled. And his wife gave the letter to the king and he read it. The wife took the letter, and whatever the potter told to his wife, she told the same thing to the king, and king was overjoyed, because even without losing a single soldier, even without investing anything on that, such a big battle, if it is won, who does not feel happy? So thus also the king. He congratulated the potter and rewarded him so well that he did not need to work again. The king was very happy. So he gifted him, rewarded the potter a lot. And thus the potter had to work no more, and he had enough and more to live all throughout his life. And here he never wanted to fight, he never wanted to catch sword, and thus so he never had the chance to catch the sword again, because he was there and all the people, those who are in the surrounding kingdoms, they were really afraid of this particular tiger general, as he captured the tiger single-handed. So in that way, the neighboring kingdoms never attacked and the tiger general never had to fight again. Now here, when you look at all those things, thus an ordinary potter became a brave potter by luck. Now, when you look at the entire story, what do you think of this story? Was he really hardworking? No. Everything took place because of his luck. But remember, the luck does not favor always. Hard work might work out for 98%. Maybe such kind of lucky people you find 2%. So thus, that's all for today. And you have heard a very good story. And be in touch with us and see you in the next video. Thank you one and all.